Well, welcome to the Christy Jones Show, where it's all about living your life to the fullest. I'm a life coach, speaker, and business owner in multifamily real estate, and I've had wild success in multifamily housing for over 25 years now. I am so passionate about helping others merge their success and lead a fulfilling life, and I bring it all together right here on this podcast. So join me and let's get started to live your life to the fullest. Well, hello, my friend. Welcome back to another fabulous week. I'm so glad you're here because, as you know, I love to dive into all the things to help you live your life to the fullest. And today I'm super excited because I have an excellent guest. We're going to have such great conversation. And this is definitely going to be an episode that you will want to share, especially if you know someone that is in education or a teacher. This is going to bring so much value specifically to that person. But I believe anyone is going to be able to pull some really good nuggets from today's conversation. So let me, real quick, before we get started, let me give you a quick introduction to Corinthia Dixie. Coach Corinthia Dixie. She is a certified life coach who specializes in serving teachers. With over a decade experience in education, Coach Corinthia knows firsthand that the challenges and the struggles that teachers face. Instead of simply letting the chaos continue, she made a bold decision to blend her expertise in coaching with her passion for teachers' success. So now she empowers educators to be, do, and have anything they want. So without further ado, let's get this conversation started and welcome to the podcast, Coach Corinthia Dixie. Well, hello, Corinthia, and welcome to the podcast. I am so excited to have you on today.
Thank you for having me. I think I'm just as excited as you are.
Well, I've been looking forward to this conversation. I know everything you're going to share today is going to be so much value to the listeners. So there's like so much I want to cover.
Okay.
So yes, I'm so excited to do that. And I know that I was talking about it in the introduction. And I know there are pieces to what I already just said that has the listeners' ears like, I'm sorry, what? Coach Corinthia
Right.
Dixie? I want to learn more about this. So anyways, I'm just super glad we're getting this chance to chat today.
Yes, I'm super excited too because it's like, let's have the conversation. Let's talk.
Exactly. And it's just fun because it's such good energy. And
Mhm.
when you get good information and someone that is just so positive and has great energy, it makes for a really fun podcast.
Absolutely. They better be
Yes.
ready.
Well, real quick, like I said, I've already kind of given the formal introduction, but in
Mhm.
your own words, can you tell us about Coach Corinthia Dixie?
Yes. So Coach Corinthia Dixie is phenomenal. I am safe. I am productive. I am powerful. And those things are important because one of the things that I absolutely love about who I am is the
Mhm.
awareness that I'm responsible for what I say to myself. So part of my readiness for the day includes getting myself ready by speaking well to myself. So when I'm able to tell people who I am and what I do, it comes naturally because I've been practicing that every morning.
That's perfect. You are
So
dialed in on that. That's perfect. That's perfect. So
yeah.
tell us in your own words, what is it that you do with your, like, who's your ideal clientele? Tell us exactly the type of coaching that you do.
Yeah, so I am a certified life coach who
Mhm.
serves teachers. And in my service to teachers, I teach them how to get everything they want. And I know it sounds super, super simple, but for teachers, it's hard for them to believe that they can continue to get everything they want because now that they are in the career that they have chosen and spent
Right.
lots of time, energy, and money getting there, they often forget that it's a whole nother part of my life that I
Mhm.
haven't yet paid attention to or tapped in or dialed into because I've committed to this service of being a teacher. And as in my role as an assistant principal, most of my work in coaching them to be excellent teachers was supporting them around them as people
Mhm.
because you can grow to hate your job when you don't have fulfillment in any other area or you experience lack or complications in other areas of your life because of your service and commitment to your work. So I'm here to disrupt all of that
I
by
love it.
reminding them that you can get everything you want while you teach.
And that, you know what? That's what I love about your message because it's not an all or nothing. You're saying that you're giving them the tools and you're taking them down the path that they need to go so they can have because I know teachers, they're just so drawn and intrinsically motivated to do the work they do.
Absolutely.
Right. And then, but they get to this point where, like we've had other discussions and we've talked outside of the podcast where teachers feel that they end up.
Absolutely.
So that's where you're coming in to say, no, you can have all of it.
You can have all of it.
Mhm.
Teaching in the classroom, teaching is not a death sentence, and
Yep.
classrooms aren't where teachers go to die.
Yeah.
Like we
Yeah.
we are responsible for creating and cultivating thriving environments for kids to grow, but we
Yeah.
have to do it for ourselves. And
Yeah.
they will model all the things that are good and perfect about us if we just remember that this is not all who I am.
Right.
This is part
Exactly.
of what I've chosen to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, real quick,
Mhm.
um I want to just like kind of give the listener a little context. So I want them to know how we met.
Yes.
And then when I learned, what it is that you do and where your focus is and in the specific client that you serve,
Mhm.
uh, why it got my interest and then, why we're having this conversation. So,
Okay.
we met. So for those listening, we met in January of this year.
Mhm.
It was Feminine and Rich Live in the fabulous Houston, Texas. And
Yes.
you were an attendee at that conference. I was a speaker at that conference and presenter. And I think, just through the extra time outside of being on stage and then the lunch and all of that, we just got to talking. One of the things that I loved about you, and I've told you this before, I loved how you introduced yourself as the new favorite person.
Yes,
And I
I'm your
thought I
person.
loved that. I thought it was so creative and it really did get my attention. And then as we were DMing and communicating after the conference, you
Mhm.
would either start it or end it with that. I thought that
Yeah.
was such a really positive, brilliant way to like greet and introduce yourself. I loved that. But that was
Yes.
where we met, was at
Mhm.
that conference. And just you had talked about, well, tell the listener about like how long you have been in education, because that's some things you started sharing with me. And I think education is very important. And I also know it is a profession that has really taken a hit
Yes.
lately.
Absolutely.
And so it's and it so there's just like this whole mixed bag of emotions when it comes to working in the education system. And so
Absolutely.
so your expertise and your topic I thought was really interesting and really on point with kind
Yes.
of where we're at in
Mhm.
the world and with our, what educators need. Um,
Absolutely.
so anyways, tell the listener how long you've been in education.
Yeah, so I've been an educator for 13 years,
Mhm.
and while I'm not currently in a school building, I am still an educator because in my role in the building, I was to teach teachers, so now I'm just teaching teachers how to get everything they want, so my classroom has just enlarged.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's just gotten bigger.
Yeah.
Yes, education has taken the world by spin. There's
Mhm.
lots of ebbs and flows, and
Mhm.
in all of the ebbs and flows, teachers are often considered because there's this narrative of kid first. It's
Mhm.
for the kids. It's for the kids. It's for the kids. And it's like, if it's for the kids,
Yep.
then how are we serving and supporting the one adult that is most responsible for their experience as students, which is the teacher?
Mhm.
And teachers are unsupported in buildings for various reasons.
Mhm.
The lack of support is one of the top 3 reasons why teachers say, "I'm leaving this space.
Okay.
I'm go" and it's not because they don't want to be there.
Right.
So, I help you want to be where you want to be
Mhm.
and be okay with where you are by supporting you through all of the stuff that
Mhm.
has nothing to do with teaching. because
Mhm.
teaching is really easy.
Mhm.
It's
Okay.
the external
Mhm.
stuff that comes, the competing priorities,
Yeah.
uh, lack of support by admin,
Mhm.
student behavior,
Mhm.
lack of parent it's all of the external things that
Right?
they have to deal with, but the teaching is easy. That's the fun part.
Yeah.
That
Right.
that's the fun part. So
That's like your magic space right there.
yes,
'Cause that's the
absolutely.
gift. Right.
That is
Right.
the gift. It just
Yeah.
shows up and it's like, how do you get to do your gift well every day
Right.
without being stressed out, burnt out, overwhelmed, and ready to quit? You get a coach like me that say, "Hey, I
Yeah.
was never stressed out, burnt out, overwhelmed, and ready to quit
Really?
simply because I had a principal, my
Mhm.
very first teaching job, who taught me how to go home with my purse and keys.
Mm.
So how dare I not give you the secret sauce and
Right?
support you with the same strategies, tools, and resources that she did for me because it's possible.
Yeah.
Because Christy, every teacher is
Uh-huh.
not stressed out, burnt out, overwhelmed, or ready to quit. So
Mm.
what is it that they know that their neighbor next door doesn't
Doesn't know.
that allows them to do the work with absolute joy every day and still have an amazing relationships, still go out with girlfriends,
Yeah.
still travel,
Yeah.
still shop, and do all
Yeah.
the other things that they want to do with their life?
Yeah. Wow. See, I just think I love this. I love the work you're doing. I love how you are coaching educators at every
Mhm.
level,
Yeah,
right? Not just teachers, but administration and beyond. But
absolutely.
how you're giving them the tools to be successful, not only in what they do in the classroom, in the building, as you
Mhm.
said,
Yeah,
but all the external stuff and their life
in their life.
and their
Yeah,
life. So they don't get, like you said, worn out, burnout, overwhelmed, and want to walk away from something that means so much to them,
absolutely.
right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're providing a solution to that. And I just really, I loved it. I was on fire about it. I'm just like, this is really, really great. And you have just such a good heart, great energy. I just know that there are people that are going to hear the podcast and
Mhm.
be in that field or have a friend or a relative or someone and be like, you got to listen to this because
Ab
do you know what I'm saying? Because
absolutely.
a lot of times people only they make choices based on most times people just do the best that they can with what they know, right? And
Yep.
when we learn more, then
Mhm.
we are able to do better and really
Absolutely.
in any area of our life, right?
And teachers believe that most because
Yeah.
they have that belief about the 32 kids in front of them.
Yep.
That
Yep.
the more you learn,
Yeah.
the better you will do. So
Right.
now, teacher, friend, client, the
Mm.
more you learn about how powerful you are, the
Mhm.
more you reconnect to your passions and desires, the
Yeah.
more you reconnect to yourself, the
Yep.
easier it becomes for you to do everything else that you love.
That's right. So
Mhm.
good. So good. Oh, I just think that that's so great. So tell us, on the podcast,
Mhm.
I a lot of the information that I share has to do with living your life fully. And I
Yeah.
love to give listeners, and that's what I do in my coaching is I really merge success and fulfillment together for high achievers. But in the podcast, we kind of broaden that a little bit and we just talk about living life to the fullest. So and I know some of your backstory. I know I just am so excited for this where you're at now in life. I think it's fabulous. I just am so excited for you. But
Thank
what
you.
for you, in your own words, about for when Corinthia is living life to the fullest,
Mhm.
what does that mean? What does that look like for you?
Okay. So at one, like I said, the things that I say to myself about myself.
Mhm.
Right? Oftentimes we say, well, we're fearful of doing something because of the opinions of others. And that is partly true, right? That's
Yeah,
partly true.
the real thing.
But most importantly, it's the conversation we are having with ourselves about ourselves. So
Mhm.
I spend a lot of time monitoring and thinking about what I'm thinking about and saying to myself,
Right.
because I'm going to act just like the rest of us according to my beliefs about me.
That's right.
I can say whatever, but
Yeah.
my actions are going to show Christy what I actually believe.
Believe.
So if
Exactly.
I believe that I can get everything I want, Christy is going to watch me
Mhm.
engage in
Uh,
favorable activities that's going to draw to me what I want. So I
Yes.
start there with my conversation to myself. And then there's this belief about abundance
Mm-hmm.
that there is enough for all of us to get everything we want.
Yes.
I don't subscribe to scarcity,
Mm-hmm.
struggle, or sacrifice
Mm-hmm.
because it's too much for us to all have it.
Yes.
And me getting what I want does not mean Christy cannot get what she wants.
That's so
And when
true.
Christy gets
Don't you
what she
find a lot of people struggle with that though?
wants,
Yeah, I know.
yes,
It's like they think that life is just like a pie and there's like only 8 to 12 slices. And once those
yes.
8 to 12 slices of cherry pie are gone, you out. Like you don't get any.
And you don't get any.
No, you
And
just
I've
order
learned
another pie. You get another
right,
cherry pie.
get another cherry pie. It's 500 cake pie makers. Everybody can get a
Finger.
everybody can. And I also do well with defining what words mean to me.
Ah,
So when
good.
I say abundance, people usually think cars, houses, trips,
Right?
vacations,
For sure.
and all those things are true. But
Yeah.
abundance to me, Christy, is
Mhm.
when my kids say we're out of mustard and I can go to the pantry and get another mustard without having going to the store.
Mhm.
That's abundance
Yes.
to me,
Yes.
right?
Right. Oh, I get it. I totally get that.
When my husband says, I'm out, what is it that you would like? That's abundance. Somebody else is considering what it is I may want, right?
Yes. Right.
And I teach people that it's okay for you to get what you want.
Yes.
And people who love you and support you will begin to see, oh wait, mom's getting what she wants.
Yeah. You're
I can
leading
too.
you're leading
As a
by
kid.
example. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it started with what I called My Choice Sundays. And it
Okay.
was about we've been in Georgia now for 4 years. So 4 years
I
ago
I know I did not I didn't I forgot to include that, but you live in Atlanta, Georgia.
yes, I live in
I
Atlanta,
love
Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes. And I started with My Choice Sundays. And I just taught them on Sundays, if I wanna do it, I will.
Yeah.
If I
Okay.
don't, I won't.
Yeah.
And if my choices happen to include y'all, then it's a win for y'all.
Yeah.
But if I don't want to make French toast, I'm not making French toast.
Yeah.
If I don't want to go to the basketball game, I'm not going
Mhm.
because I have choice, and my choice includes me getting what I want.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I want other people to become more comfortable with that. And teachers get so the conversations with teachers is for kids. We're doing
Yeah.
it for kids. We're doing it for this, and we're doing it. Can we just get back to teaching because that's what we want to do?
There you go. There you go.
Because it fills our cups.
Yeah.
And if students and colleagues and principals and admins happen to benefit
Mhm.
from how well I teach, then that's a win for you. But I
Right.
started winning when I got to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly. That was your win.
That was the win.
That's
I got
exactly
to do
right.
what I wanted to do. Yep. So talking well to myself,
Yeah.
defining what words mean to me, and
Okay.
showing other people how to care for me as I get what I want.
That's so good.
Yep.
It's so good and it's so valuable, and that right there just that just, like, that's just everything that just wraps it up with a bow, because
Mm.
that and your clarity on that is what's so important as
Yeah.
well, right? And
Yes.
did it take you some time to get clear on what was living life fully for yourself?
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
absolutely, because I
yeah,
love people.
yeah,
And I love the joy that other people experience.
yeah.
So it's like, am I experiencing the same joy that they experience when they're with me? Do I feel that for myself?
Right.
And it's like, well, no, because sometimes you get a little tired of that. And sometimes
Yeah,
that's not, you don't feel good about that. But I was like, well, how do I feel the joy too?
yeah,
How do I experience the joy that I want other people to experience when they're around me?
right.
And
Yeah,
then start doing that. And it's like,
yeah.
well, I used to like Coach bags, but now I'm a Kate Spade person. I used
Mhm.
to be in love with butterflies, and my
Yeah,
husband's friends and everybody would give me butterflies. And one day I was like, I don't think I really like
I
that
don't think I
anymore.
like that anymore. You know what?
So
That's just the involvement, that's just the change.
yes,
We are
just
not the same people. You know, it's like when you run into have you ever had this happen? You run into an old friend or,
mhm,
friends from back in the day, and you have a connection from back then. You have a history and a past, and that's really special and great,
yep,
but not everybody from maybe that container of your life, that era,
Absolutely.
can take the evolved new you of what and who you are now.
Absolutely.
And so they feel uncomfortable that you don't like let's say that you don't like butterflies now, or
Right.
that you like to do different things now, or that you're this new evolved different individual than you were
Absolutely.
20, 10 years ago, 7 years ago,
Absolutely.
whatever.
Absolutely.
Right.
Mhm.
And so, and that's okay. Like you have to be okay that not everything is going to come forward with you,
Absolutely.
but you can still appreciate it
Yes.
for what it is and what it was.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so evolvement and changing and all of that is really normal and healthy.
Yep, absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's what I tell my clients because they're like, "Well, I'm gonna be different, but what about the people I live with? Or what about my colleague? Or what about principal?
Mhm.
They will be fine.
Yes. Yes.
If they're fine with your crazy now, they're
Yes.
gonna be so much
They're gonna
better
be they're gonna
with
be
your
they're gonna be they're gonna be better.
yes.
Yeah,
And you're going to show them, and then they'll be attracted to the better that you are.
right.
And then you will find more calm, more peace, more joy. You'll find all the things that you want simply
Absolutely.
because you was
Sitting
like,
on
"This is
right on the other side of that.
right on the other side of that."
Yeah,
'Cause they will be okay.
it will. But yeah, but they're fearful of that, and then but
Absolutely.
people if I'm sure as your clients, make adjustments and they evolve and change,
Mhm.
that they are concerned about, well, how will I be received? And are my colleagues and my family or whoever. And the thing is that we teach people
Mhm.
how to treat us.
Yep.
We give them instruction on
Mhm.
that. And
Yep.
so they'll be fine. You're exactly right. They will be fine. They
Yes,
will. So
they
what do
are.
you think, what could you share with the listeners on for your clients?
Mhm.
What do you think is their biggest, what do you think is for your clients, what do they feel? I'm trying to make sure I word this correctly. What do
Mhm.
they feel is missing from their life so that they can live their life fully? What is there a few things there that you feel like your clients that like what's their big obstacle of what's in their way from living their life to the fullest?
Yep. Time,
Okay.
energy, and money.
Okay.
And it's not that those 3 things are not available to them.
Hmm.
They just don't have the awareness on how to maximize what is present.
Well said.
Because people often say, "You have to take time for this," or "You have to make time for this," or "You have to do this with time," or "There's never enough time." There's a plethora of time.
Yes. Yes.
But you have to be present in the time that you are in now.
Right.
But most people live in 2 places, the past
Mhm.
and the future.
Yeah.
So if you still living in the past, you are out of time,
You
sweetheart.
are.
You are.
The,
You
the
are pumpkin.
buzzer has gone off.
Shut up. And the
Game
future
over.
game over, and the future may never come,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is why I always say welcome to today because today is the tomorrow you wanted yesterday.
That's right.
It
That's
arrived. So
that's right.
now what? Now
Exactly.
what?
Yeah.
So how do you use the time that is given to you
Yes.
to do more of the things that you want, to
Right.
experience more of the things you want, to become who it is you want to be?
Yes.
And energy, you wore out because you are so busy serving others.
Yeah. You're worn smack out.
You talking trash to yourself, and that's exhausting.
Yeah. It is.
And you don't go to bed at night.
Yes. Yes. 100%. 100%. Oh my gosh. So in your process, you're taking them through those three things that are their
Yes.
obstacles and getting them through that to the other side so they
Yep.
can have their life to the fullest and do the
Absolutely.
profession that they love, which is teaching.
We're just teaching because
Yeah.
teachers do need to be paid more.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do.
Okay.
They do.
Uh-huh.
But teachers are not poor, and there
Mhm.
is a difference.
Got it. Got it. Understood. Well said. Well said. That's really good. Yeah, that's good. So you went to a conference recently in Washington,
Yes.
D.C.
Yes.
I thought that was so fabulous for you,
Yes.
because
Thank
you
you.
got an opportunity to speak to a lot of administrators.
Yes.
And that is so imperative
Mhm.
for you in really reaching the masses. So tell
Absolutely.
us about, just give us a little snippet of that conference there. I forget the name of it. I just know it was in
Yes.
DC.
Yes, it's ASCD is the largest teacher educator conference in
Okay.
our little landscape.
Mhm.
And there I had the opportunity to speak to principals and administrators
Mhm.
about their contribution to
Mhm.
teacher stress, burnout, overwhelm, and feelings of wanting to quit.
Yeah.
Because you have a school that you're leading,
Mhm.
allowing things to be or allowing things not to be, and teachers are in that space.
Yes.
And if you want them to stay, you have to create a climate and culture that says you are safe,
Mhm.
you are valued, you
Mhm.
are seen, you are
Yeah.
supported.
Yeah.
And many of them won't exit stage left
Yeah.
because teachers are leaving and they have been leaving. But I do believe that there are teachers who have left because there aren't enough schools that do those things, make them feel
Oh,
safe,
right.
valued, supported, and heard.
Right.
And if we can get schools to do that, more schools,
Mhm.
then some of the teachers will stay and some of the teachers have left will come back. So
Yeah.
y'all will contribute. You held your problem and your solution in your hand.
That's
So
right.
let me help you solve your problem so you can get to your solution.
That's
So that
great.
your
So that
learning.
is, so you were able to communicate that there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they need to know.
Yeah. They do.
Y'all will
They need to, and absolutely. And you're now, do you offer your work, I'm assuming, based on the areas that we've talked about where you've traveled and gone to, but do you do a lot of your work virtually? Or do you
yes,
have to be
it's
okay?
done virtually. Mhm.
Yeah, so you don't
I
have to
would
be in person
you
per
don't
se.
have to be
Yeah,
in
yeah.
person.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
So that really, I mean, what a great resource to school systems, administrators, leadership, and educators
Yes.
to almost like a retention factor, an employment retention,
Absolutely.
right?
Yes.
I
Yes,
mean,
to keep them.
it's like an employment benefit, right? There's health
Yep.
insurance, and then there's coaching.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
the one thing about coaching, regardless of what area you're providing coaching, whether
Absolutely.
you're providing it to teachers and educators, whether it's life coaching, career coaching, the clients that I work with, any it's to me coaching, I mean it's like a no-brainer to me, like, but I've
Mhm.
also been on the receiving end, and I'm sure you have too, of
Yes.
having a coach,
Yes.
right?
It's a
um
beautiful thing.
yeah. And and anytime, the way I look at it is, in any area of your life where professionally or personally you're wanting to, you feel stuck, you're wanting to make, you need to, there's a next level, but maybe you're just like, you just that, you're not sure, or
Mhm.
you don't know what you don't know. And we've all been there.
Absolutely. Yep.
We don't know. We don't know what we don't know. That's true for all of us.
All of us.
And a coach is able to illuminate
Mhm.
and bring light to sometimes what is right there, but we're just not seeing it. And
Absolutely.
then
I'm 100%
provide the tools and the insight and
Mhm.
the direction and the guidance and the coaching to save the person so much time, so
So much time.
much misery, to get
Yes.
to that end result so much easier,
Yep.
honestly. I mean, yeah,
Absolutely.
faster is great, but don't you wanna feel good when you get there, type of
You
thing?
get and not all exhausted because you finally
Exactly.
made the finish line.
Exactly. Exactly. So I really am a big believer in coaching, and high performers have been utilizing coaching at high levels for decades and decades and decades, and now you see coaching in every single sector,
Yes.
specialty, and it's just, I'm like perplexed when people choose to remain
Right.
stagnant or stuck
Mhm.
or not seek the solution, when there are individuals that have navigated that and are ready
Yes.
to
Yes.
like, bring you along.
Absolutely.
Exactly what you're doing. Exactly
Yes.
what you're doing.
Yeah,
That's
because I'm one of the people that I can see your success,
yeah,
know it's possible, and just do it because it worked for you.
Right.
I'm not a fan of I have to struggle to get there.
Yeah.
Oh, you did it? Great. How'd you do it? Oh,
Yeah.
joy, ease, and you pay some money? Great. Where your coach?
Where's your coach? I want that one.
Send me the link, right? Because I
Just
wanna be
sign
like
just
exactly.
exactly. Sign me up.
Sign me up.
Well, okay, so let's talk about oh gosh, so much I wanna talk about. I
Okay.
really want one of the things that I love about your story is,
Mhm.
I love when we recently chatted and because everyone always thinks, "Oh, that's easy for Corinthia to say because everything's just gone like clockwork in her life, and
Right.
everything went as expected, and she probably has no other responsibilities, and
Mhm.
so it's easy that she's been able to start a business and be an entrepreneur and all the things and have all this success." Like, that's going on in someone's head out
Right.
there. So you have shared with me, you talked about you went from high school, then you started college,
Yeah.
and then when we were chatting, there was that little twist in the story, which this is the stuff I love. I'm like,
Right.
"Oh, this is the juicy." But you went a year into college in
Yes.
what, speech pathology?
Yep, speech
Okay,
pathology.
and you weren't
Mhm.
feeling it,
Nope.
and
Wasn't
then
it?
you ended up you went and you said you worked at what, TJ Maxx, and you met somebody and it went from there.
Yes, I met somebody at TJ Maxx. They introduced me to this youth ministry.
Yep,
This youth ministry was connected to this program called Freedom School. It's
uh-huh,
a literacy program for Black kids, and you teach them how to read through Read Aloud.
okay.
Went to Tennessee, stayed on Alex Haley's farm for a week, and I was like, "This is it.
Mm,
This is it." And after 6 weeks of teaching kindergartners how to read, I enrolled in my education program, and here we are 13 years later, and
yeah,
I'm so happy and grateful for the twist and turn and
yes,
the redirection to
yes.
say,
Yeah,
I did the thing that I was best for me. That
yes.
is fun for me.
Right.
Like,
Yes, I can tell because the look on your face, you light up when you talk about it. Heck yes.
yes,
So, and also, so
yes,
I don't know, I hope you don't mind me sharing, but not only are you an entrepreneur, started a business, and you've been in education all these years, you're a mom and a wife,
yes,
and your son was how old when you went into, starting teaching 3rd grade and graduated from college?
absolutely. In
You were
2000,
active.
he was right. He was 4.
Yeah.
He was 4.
So you
He
were
was
in
4.
the thick of it.
In the thick of it,
You know
with
what I'm
look,
saying?
what I call the kids in college. I'm a grown woman, married and well, by that time we were not together because yeah.
That's another podcast.
Right, that's a whole nother podcast. So for those of you listening, as Christy
Yeah,
said, it wasn't a straight path.
yeah,
I did a divorce.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
now married again. You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
It
same
wasn't a
here.
straight path.
Yep,
Absolutely.
I feel you.
And I was in college
Yeah,
to start teaching with a
yeah,
4-year-old all the things.
right,
All
right,
the things,
right,
all the things, and I realized of course, he went to school with me, that's the joy of being an educator. He
right,
can go to
sure,
school with you, and it was there when I learned in 3rd grade that he could read, but he didn't comprehend on a 3rd grade level,
mhm,
and as educators, we know the necessary no, we know how imperative it is for kids to be able to read on grade level by 3rd grade.
yes, I
You
do,
understand? And
yes,
to be a teacher and realize your kid is not,
mhm,
that's a tough pill to swallow.
right,
So I went back to school to get a master's in reading to teach my kid how to read,
yeah,
but then also was able to become a coach to teach other teachers how to teach kids how to read because that's a science, Christy. That's a
wow.
science.
Oh, I'm
And for
sure it is. I can't even imagine, like, I can't
yes,
even imagine, but I completely agree, uh,
mhm,
that it is that's where parent involvement becomes so important because
yes,
and it's okay. I wanna normalize, like, it's okay if
yes,
the child is not reading on grade level.
it is
We all get
okay.
over the, "I don't wanna talk about it," the shame thing. Can you get over
Over
your freaking self on that? You know what I'm saying?
it.
Like, parents don't wanna talk about it because they feel like it's like, "This ain't a judgment on you, girl."
Judgment at
You know what I mean?
all.
So, I think a big part because kids are so
Yes,
young, right?
they
So,
are.
they're just, like, trying to learn how to read, and it's the adults that are
Mhm.
making it weird.
Yes.
So
And Christy, to find out, Donovan struggled to read because as a kid, he got lots of ear infections.
mhm.
So his ears always heard us as if we were underwater.
Yeah, that muffled sound. I've heard
Yeah.
that before.
So
Uh-huh.
he never even had a clear opportunity
Yeah.
to hear sounds correctly.
Yeah.
That's nobody's fault,
No.
right?
No. No. But there's so many things that if everybody gets on board and they
Yes.
don't do the whole shame thing and they don't act like it's something weird, like we all learn at different speeds.
Oh,
Period. I mean, but reading is very important. And so the more that we can put the things like you're saying, there's ways to teach other teachers on how to help kids learn how to read and comprehend better. I
yep,
mean, that there's a tool for you. You know what I
it
mean?
is.
So, but when we sit around and we just like, if parents want to not, they want to act like it's not happening,
Correct.
that isn't
Yeah.
helping anything. So,
And now
uh,
all of you all who are considering that, you have my permission to be okay with it because I was a teacher with a kid
yeah.
that couldn't read.
Mhm.
So you have all full permission to go and tell somebody you need some help, and it's
Yeah,
all right. I did
exactly.
it, and it's all right. I didn't rip the Band-Aid off for you.
Rip the band-aid off. So true, so true. So then, so gosh, so that's when you started. So my point, I just wanted to point out that, when you went to college and by the time you were doing that and then got your master's, I mean, you're juggling a lot in your life. This wasn't like, easy street or anything like that. And even now, I love because you're the age that I was when I empty nested. I know your son's getting ready to graduate from high school. That's so exciting. And you have a daughter too that's
Yeah,
what, 11, 12?
yep. Yeah, she'll be
Yeah.
12 on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, happy
Yeah.
birthday to her.
Hey.
So I mean, and then for you to then embark and start this business, I mean, you're doing this in really busy, what are considered busy years of our lives, but
Yes.
your mindset is what is allowing you to navigate that
Mhm.
in a way that feels good and aligned for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I was
And
your
the
age as well when my son graduated and empty nested. And a lot of people are like, oh, I was empty nesting at 42. And people are like, oh my God, you're empty nesting at 42. I was like, yeah, I am.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I am. But and it is, I mean, you cherish, you have like however much more school he has, what, another
Yes,
month or so? Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And I
So
enjoy taking his
um,
6'4", 275-pound
he is
self
6'4".
to
Good Lord.
Christy, a size 20 shoe.
A size 20
A
shoe?
size 20
I did
shoe.
not know they made a size 20 shoe.
Me
Uh,
either.
Do you have
And
to
it
pay
seemed like he
extra for a size
yes,
20 shoe?
extra
I'm just
time for the
wondering.
finder. Right, and he's in high school, so it's not like a random regular 20 shoe. It's got to be a nice shoe.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, no. I mean, he's gonna be styling, so he's not, yeah. You can't just sew up a shoe. He ain't like, "No, mom, I want the shoe."
And I
Holy
wanted to do
cow!
that.
Did you
Yeah,
say 20?
it's 20, 20, 20.
Never knew that. Never. Didn't know that was possible.
Yes.
Well, my goodness.
Mhm.
So that's, when our kids grow and they get bigger, and this is completely off topic, and they're large humans, the house gets smaller because
Yes.
when you have children, they're just little people running around and then they get full size and you're
Full
like,
size.
this kitchen is a lot smaller all of a sudden.
Right. Absolutely. And I'm
So,
only 5'6", so you can imagine.
oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm, almost 5'11". So
Mhm.
I've having met you in person. So
Yeah,
my goodness. Well, he takes up a lot of room in the car.
he sure does.
That's right. That's right. Well, I'm sure he is just enjoys that time with you in the car on the way to
Yeah.
school,
And that was something I wanted when I started my
Um,
second year of being a admin, and
mhm.
arrival was my favorite part of the day. Seeing kids coming to school, that was my favorite part of the day, and I was like, "I would like to put my kids on a bus and pick them up from the bus stop," and now doing it.
Yeah,
It's another testament that we can get what we want.
That's
And
right.
getting what you want doesn't mean that it happens to me every day and right away.
Amen. Amen. I think patience is what people really struggle with.
Yes, it didn't happen overnight. It's not gonna happen overnight. Some stuff I want comes fast.
That's right.
Some stuff I come won't come slow, but it's the belief that I can have it.
That's right. Some stuff does come faster than other things. Some things
Yes.
that it's on a different timeline. You're working towards it and
Yes,
you believe that it will come to fruition, but it's not snap the fingers and it's done, you know?
exactly.
And
And that's the fun part, to just know that it's coming. It's like Christmas Eve or the eve of your birthday every
yes,
day.
absolutely. Yes,
Is it today?
because you
Is
have
it
no
today?
idea what's gonna actually go down.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
thought I was a really odd person because my husband's always like, I mean, I start every day, I'm like, "I have no idea what's gonna happen today. This is so exciting."
So exciting.
He's like, "What's going on today?" Well,
Right.
I kinda know, but I mean, this could
Yep.
happen, and this could come together, and this, and I mean,
Yep.
I'm just always in that, like, state of that's what I think so exciting about every day,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep. Even the things walking in the Starbucks and somebody says, "Welcome to today," and you like,
Yeah.
"Hey, girl," because you've seen it so much, right? It's
That's
like,
right,
"Y'all know me.
right,
I
exactly.
like this."
I like this. Okay, you had said, we
Uh-huh.
were talking about retirement and,
Yes.
doing the retirement that you dreamed of, and
Yes.
so I loved how you framed this up, so I'm gonna let you say it, but we were talking the other day, and you said that you're doing retirement the way you had dreamed of.
Yes.
And just to
40.
clarify, your retirement includes working.
Yes, that part.
Yes!
It does, it does,
Mine
it does.
too. Exactly. And
It
people don't I
does.
think a lot of times people go retirement and then staring at the wall. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know how many pina coladas you can drink a day on a beach. I mean, but every day?
Every day.
Every
That's
day? But like, the traditional look of
absolutely
retirement. So yeah, so your ideal dream retirement is what you're doing now? Is that
is
right?
what I'm doing now. It
Mm,
is telling teachers and everybody else that we can get what we want with joy and ease, and it's okay.
yes.
It's okay. And being able to go from Atlanta to go to DC and to tell them in DC there, or
Mhm.
going to St. Louis back home to tell them there,
Yeah,
it's just like the more of us that know,
yeah,
the easier it becomes for all of us to collectively
mm,
live with joy and ease.
that's right.
Because it's hard to be with you, Christy, and have an attitude.
Well,
It's
I kinda
it's
thought that.
hard to it's hard to be with you and not say, "Can I refill your cup?" Right? Like,
Right,
it's just the energy of we are good and
yeah,
we can be good together.
yes.
I'm a rock star, you're a rock star, we could do life
Stronger
together.
together, stronger together.
And I
Mhm.
would never have done that if I didn't retire.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So true. I mean, I just think of if you traditional retired, what everyone would be missing out on right now of
Yes.
what you're putting out into the world
Yep.
and how you're helping education, which is just phenomenal.
Yes,
And
and it's not that structure not going anywhere.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, exactly. All right, so is there anything else, that you want to share with our listeners as we wrap today?
yes, I would like to say to each of you that I'm so happy and grateful for your service. I'm so happy and grateful for your continued commitment to do this work while other people are making it hard.
Mhm,
And I'm so happy and grateful that there's a part of you that is looking for a solution. And
mhm,
now that you've heard this conversation, you know the things that you want
mhm.
to have, do, and be are possible for you because you have listened to two women do that for you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Excellent words to close on, Corinthia. Excellent words to
Thank you.
close on. I love it. Well, how do listeners find you, get a hold of you? Can you give your Instagram handle, or
Yeah,
website? How does the world find you, Corinthia?
the world can find me on Instagram at
Okay.
Coach. Corinthia Dixie. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Very good.
And then once you get there, everything else you need access will be there too.
I'll be there. Beautiful. Well, this
Yeah.
has been a fun conversation. And
Yes, thanks, Christy.
yeah, it's been so fun. And who knows, we might end up doing it again. We might have some other things we need to cover and
Yeah,
talk about. But
absolutely.
I know that I love the realness, the rawness, and the practical tips
Mhm.
that you gave us today. I couldn't thank you more for that. It was really,
Thank
really
you.
great conversation. I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you, love.
Okay. Thanks, you guys. Thanks, everyone, for joining. As you know, rate and review the show. And this is definitely an episode that you want to share with your bestie, with someone that you know is in the world of education. You've got to tap into Coach Corinthia and get some of what she's dishing out. All right.
Yeah.
Take care, and we will see you guys next week. Bye, Corinthia.
Bye.
I just want to thank you for tuning in today to the podcast. And I hope you've enjoyed the conversation and all the info that's been shared today. And I hope you've come away with a few ideas on how to make the most out of it for your life. If you loved this episode, be sure to share it with your friends and family. And also make sure you subscribe to the podcast and tap that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Also, it would mean the absolute world to me if you would leave a podcast review. So until next time, my friend, keep flourishing and thriving and live your life to the